Have you ever felt like your low back was getting more work than your legs during a squat? That is not supposed to be the way it works, people. Unfortunately, your lack of hip mobility is making your lower back do way more work than it's supposed to, hence the pain center. Now, if you want to start getting back to work with fixing that hip mobility problem, then I'd recommend clicking the link below. You can get the best hip exercise I've ever used for my own personal low back problems, plus other mobility tools to help keep you strong and normal. But while you start working on that hip mobility, keep watching, as I'm going to give you an alternative exercise for your traditional squat that will allow you to keep squatting without pissing that lower back off. Because no one wants to give up squatting, all right? What's up, guys? Matt Pippin here, and I've been a strength and mobility coach for over 15 years, helping over 1,000 professional, collegiate, and everyday athletes move, feel, and perform at their highest level. And today, I'm going to show you how to do a wide stance, high box squats, which is a perfect alternative if you have lower back pain. Now, what we have to figure out is how much hip mobility you have, and that's going to determine what our squats are going to be. So what happens with a lot of people is when they go to drop into a normal squat, if you don't have good hip, you'll start to get this rounding of the lower back. You'll sometimes hear people refer to it as like a butt wink. That is no bueno. Essentially, your spine is curling under while you have load coming down, and that's just a recipe for disaster. So what you want to do is you want to first determine what your height and your depth's got to be. That's where we squat as long as we can keep kind of like that neutral-ish lumbar curve. Because we want a little bit of a sway. We don't want this, but we don't want this either. We just want to be kind of neutral-ish, okay? So to figure that out, we're going to do kind of a standing active hip raise. So what I like to do is slowly just pick my knee up without letting my butt tuck under, because that's what got us here in the first place. So if I slowly come up, that's about where I'm at. Most people are going to be about 90 degrees. Now, as this gets better when you do your hip mobility stuff, then you can start to lower your depth. But in the meantime, this is what your depth is going to look like. And you obviously want to do it for the other side as well. If you've got one hip that's good, one hip that's bad, you got to make it so the depth can take care of the bad one. Otherwise, you're just going to keep irritating that, and eventually your lower back's going to explode. Now, for the box squat, what we want to think about is not letting that butt tuck. So I like to go a little bit wider with my stance. And as I start my descent, push my hips out, and I want to go find out where my depth is. So if I know my hip is at like 90 degrees, this box height's pretty good. Look at my lower back. He's good to go. If I come down and I start to curl like this, then we obviously have to raise the height of the box. This is a 20-inch box. This is usually a good place to start for most people. But if this isn't high enough, we throw an extra pad here, put a bump plate on here. If you're using like a standard bench, put stuff on top of that. Swallow your pride, start a little bit higher than what you think. And then if you can just load the crap out of it, awesome, because then at least you won't be pissing off your lower back. But if you're constantly caving like this and tucking that butt, eventually your squatting days are going to be all over. So to recap, we want to figure out what our depth has to be where I can kind of keep this spine and not go into that butt. Start with a higher box than you think. Assess what your active hip flexion is for not only one leg, but both legs, and then make it appropriately for whatever your hip mobility will allow you to do. So, all right, guys, if you found this helpful, give me a like or a share so I know what tips you guys want to see more of. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you're not missing out on all the awesome content we have coming your way. Take it easy, guys. Remember to be strong, be mobile.